Good afternoon, YouTube friends and family. This is Laura coming to you with another short video. And today we're going to be talking about, this is part 2 of the video, the 10 things we need to stop doing. And let me just do a quick refresher over the list of the 10 things that I have listed. We need to stop doing or die to self or selfishness, becoming offended easily, the spirit of offense, the need to be right all the time, the blame game, dwelling on the past, all negativity. Number 7, judging others. Number 8, playing church. Number 9, seeking to fulfill worldly desires. And number 10, worshiping idols. Now, this all derives from my study of John 3:30, which states that he must increase, but I must decrease. And so, as we know, any sins that we exhibit, or anytime we fall, or we have any mishaps, or we stumble in life, or we have any vices, or we just totally mess up, screw up, whatever you want to call it, sin in life, it all derives from 3 things. These are the 3 things that trip us up each and every time: the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye, and the pride of life. Now, on the last video, we talked about self and selfishness and becoming offended easily. Today, we're going to discuss number 3 and number 4. Number 3 is the need to be right, and number 4 is the blame game. Now, here are some examples of a person exhibiting the need to be right, and we need to stop this if we're exhibiting these behaviors. Always thinking that we know what's best for everybody. We have our hands in everyone else's life. We're telling everyone else what to do. We think we know what's best for everyone. But if people were to put a microscope on our lives, they would see that we don't have our life together. And so how can we give any advice on a particular subject, unless you've overcome in that area? But how can you give any particular advice if you're still struggling with the same thing? So always knowing what's best for everybody. Imposing your will on others. It's okay to give advice, but to, shovel it down someone's throat as if they have to receive your advice and they have to do it. You need to stop that. You need to stop the need to be right. Being bossy and controlling. Everything has to go your way or the highway. Everything has to be under your control. You know what's best. Only you can get it done. Only you can do it the right way. Or manipulating a particular situation so that it works out in your favor. Doing whatever and saying whatever to win or to save face. To this person, winning takes precedent over a relationship. They would rather let a whole relationship go deteriorate because they have to prove the need to be right. They have to win the argument. They have to win the battle. They have to win the war. They're not careful about the battles that they pick. Another thing is the need to appear superior. This person walks around looking and acting arrogant and cocky. They're incapable of taking the high road. Well, they're capable of doing it, but they don't want to. They refuse to take the high road. Another thing is not being able to say I'm sorry, not being able to admit to, being wrong. Another thing is never being able to say, you know what, I don't have the answer. And you know what, my friend, it's okay to do that. If you don't have the answer to something, it's okay to tell someone, you know what, I don't have the answer. Let me get back to you. But there are some people who will throw a whole bunch of stuff out there to appear that they have the answer. And, sometimes it's how they get through life, faking it, pretending. Another thing that this person would exhibit is everyone has issues except them. The last time I checked, everybody's got something they're dealing with. This person will lie or cheat to win. Also, this person is very jealous of others who they perceive as smarter or more knowledgeable than them. This person always has to be the smartest person in the group, the smartest person in their circle of friends. They always have to be the go-to person. They have to be the smartest person in class. They, instead of embracing and loving on someone who may have more knowledge on a particular subject or in a particular area, they prefer to hate on them, to put them down, instead of embracing this person and learning from this person. It's okay not to be the smartest person in the room. You learn that way. Also, this person exhibits the belief that they never do or say anything wrong. Sadly, none of us are perfect. We all offend in word or deed. So keep that in mind. So let's move on here. Number 4, the blame game. Often this person will say or truly believe that what is going on, it's not their fault. They will not accept responsibility or accountability for anything. You will often hear them use the term life is so unfair, or how someone started it, so they're going to finish it. They never admit that they could have done or said or made a wrong choice. And that's another thing that I want to discuss here, the blame game. Yes, sometimes life can deal us a bad hand. But what about that old saying, when life hands us lemons, we take it and we make lemonade? But this person will just keep on harping on how it's not my fault. I was dealt a bad hand. This person is holding me back. It's this person's fault that I'm the way I am, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. It's everyone else's fault. And sometimes it's not that. It's not that life has dealt you a bad hand. Sometimes it's just choices in life that you've made. Sometimes we've made some bad choices that we're living out. Choices that we made, it could be affecting us from 10 years, 20 years ago. For every action, there's an equal reaction. For every choice, there's a consequence, whether negative or positive. And so a lot of times, a lot of things we're dealing with comes from the choices that we've made. I love this. I listened to Angel Richardson. She's a life coach, and I love her. I adore her. Her website is Life Coaches Rock. And what she talks about when she's dealing with a client is she always talks about the 10 rule. The 10 rule. And what is this 10 rule? The 10 rule is asking yourself, how will this affect me 10 minutes from now, 10 months from now, 10 years from now? Before making any decision or any choice, always think about the 10 rule. I love this. I think this is just fascinating. The 10 rule. How will it affect me 10 minutes from now, 10 months from now, 10 years from now? This will prevent us from saying something that we'll regret later, from doing something we'll regret later. Because a lot of times, when we're in our head and ourselves or caught up in our emotions, we're not always thinking rationally. So sometimes it's good just to take a deep breath, even count to 10. I want to add that to it. Count to 10 before you speak, before you do something that you're going to regret later. And then ask yourself these 3 questions. How will this affect me? If I do this, if I say this, if I react this way, if I make this choice, if I make this decision, how will it affect me 10 minutes from now, 10 months from now, 10 years from now? And I think this will help out a whole lot, so that we won't have to go through life blaming somebody, not taking responsibility, not taking accountability, and living on the results of choices that we made years ago. Well, anyway, this is going to wrap it up for this video. On the next one, we're going to start with number 5 and number 6 on the list. So thank you. This is 10 things that we need to stop doing or die to, part number 2. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, leave a comment, or hit that subscribe button. And as always, until we meet again, bye-bye, my friends.